Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is the end of the work week, and we are about to start the weekend in a few hours. I hope you are doing well. And this is In the Raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. And we've been talking about fighting the good fight. Fighting the good fight, and what that means. Our life is in a constant battle, different sorts, and we have to be ready to fight the good fight. And I've given you some strategies for fighting the good fight for the faith, as Paul puts it. And the first strategy I talked about was know the battle. You have to know what battle you're in. And I have a video about that previously. You can go back and see it. Then I talked about know how to use your weapons. When you're in battle, you have weapons. You need to know how to use your weapons. So that's very important. And today I want to close it out with the third strategy. And this third strategy is this: obtain your victory. Sounds kind of like irrational, maybe, because it's not up to you. You might think, but it is up to you if you're going to obtain your victory. You might say, well, it's circumstantial. It depends on the circumstances, but it's really up to us. There's another cliche phrase that Christians like to use, and this one's taken directly from the Bible. If God is with me, who can be against me? Do you know what makes it cliche or popular? When we say it but act in the opposite way. Many times we say things just for the sake of saying them. Another very common phrase: how are you? And what is the response always? Fine or good, right? But our life is reflecting defeat. Our actions are reflecting the opposite. And the people of Corinth were in the middle of a battle that even put, this battle even put their salvation in doubt. And Paul is forced to write to them in his first letter to the Corinthians. And he ends the letter by telling them to stand firm and steady, and reminds them of the following. 1 Corinthians 15:57. It says, but thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. It's easy to forget that the war is won, but we have an advantage as children of God, an advantage over the enemy. No matter how difficult the battle is, no matter how clouded our mind is from the fatigue and the fighting, there's something we already know. The war is won. We have the advantage of going to the end of the book, and there it says that we are on the winning side. Thank God that we have the victory through Jesus Christ. Having a winner's attitude is the strategy that leads to victory. Teams that are champions have something in common. You will always find this in the championship. They have a winner's attitude. A team may lack star players. It may lack the latest technology. It may lack all the resources. But if they have a winning attitude, they can be champions. And yes, some battles are going to be difficult. I know that. Some will cost us a lot of effort. And there will be others that we will lose. Let's be honest. But we cannot lose sight that the war is already won. The life of Paul is a great example of this. He dedicates a large part of his epistles or his writings to explaining that we are at war. He talks about weapons. He talks about battles. He talks about soldiers. And you know why? Because he himself fought all his life, but he never lost sight of the victory in Jesus Christ. This led him to write in 2 Corinthians 4:7, we now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from God, not from ourselves. He also wrote in 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, we often suffer in battle, but we are never crushed. Even when we don't know what to do in battle, we never give up. In times of trouble in battle, God is with us. And when we are knocked down in battle, we get up again. This is what it means to fight the good fight for the faith. Paul faced difficulties and struggles in every day of his life after meeting Christ. But he knew how to fight the good fight. And at the end of his life, he himself declared himself a victor, a winner. Our goal is to reach the same. It can be achieved if we keep the faith. He said in 2 Timothy 4:7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So we have to have that winner's attitude. We have to obtain our victory. We have to say, I can fight this battle and I can win, not because of my strength, not because of my strategies, but because God is with me. And I will do everything under my strength or under my my skill or anything that I need to do to make sure that I fight this battle and that I become a victor through Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope that you enjoy the weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care.